crossbow. Their leader. they say.
I should have been at my husband's side. He'd still be alive, and I'd still be his hunt wife. Well, look upon my husband and weep, for his next journey is to the Ashen Forge. Perhaps a new chief will deal with Kurog's latest nonsense. Until then, leave it.
Rotten luck, Chief. Rotten luck. Don't see many new faces at Chateau Range. Our only neighbors are surly giants. Speaking of which, Chief Ogzor had a nasty encounter with a giant's club a short while ago. Best keep your voice low. Dying. No amount of healing magic can fix smashed brains. Soon as he goes, Chatul is in for dark times. The clan will tear itself apart without a good contender for chief. We know which giant smashed the chief. I want to return the favor. That'll show the clan I'm a good contender, which would help keep the clan together. Thing is, I have a few words to say to Chief Ogzor's mother. I'll meet you where Urkael the Cleaver's tracks begin. Don't know why we call him that. He carries a club. I don't really know. Most giants are surly enough. Urkael the Cleaver, we've come to learn, is a mean drunk. Once, He tore off an Echater's crest and tossed it across the snow like he was skipping a stone. Heard they found it in Farens. You're right. Only made it 100 paces before it slammed into a tree. Took half a day to saw that bloody crest out. We tried to reattach the thing, but the Echater wanted nothing to do with it. Most of Shatul's warriors died in the first Winterborn raids. Without a good contender for chief, truth is, everyone's afraid. The chief kept this clean. You want me to quote the Code of Malekith? Go on about vengeance and grudges? I've had my fill of someone whose actions speak loudest. Someone like Chief Ogzor. Yes, I want to be chief. I spent 2 decades watching this clan prosper. Contenders for chief fight it out in the Bloody Knoll. It's our shrine to Malekith. I don't really know. Most giants are surly enough. You're right. Only...
They'll never know what hit them!
Some trackers can spot a snap. I don't really know.
You're right.
Only made it 100. Most of Shatul's warriors died in the first Winterborn raids. Truth is, You want me to quote the Code of Malekith? Go on about vengeance and grudges? I've had my fill of that. Something I learned around all these... Someone whose actions speak loudest. Someone like Chief Ogzor. Yes, I want to be chief. I spent 2 decades watching this clan prosper under his guidance. I'm not... Contenders for chief fight it out in the Bloody Knoll. It's our shrine to Malekith, up on the hill. He who emerges as chief. Well, of course, that's how it's always been. Never thought about it any other way. I suppose it's possible. Still, I wouldn't wish that on... She'd face constant challenge. Whispers behind her back, bitter sulking, the petty disrespects you expect from children, but all from grown orcs who should know better. We travel where the Achater travel. Can't say it'd be good if the chief was stuck here defending him... herself, I mean. I wouldn't want to put my clan through that, but that's me. I don't really know.
You're right.
Truth is, everyone's afraid. The chief kept this...
Ha! Exactly.
Oh, you were asking. Well, I never challenged Chief Ogzor, even though people thought contenders for chief... Is that a track? It's... no, sorry. It's just some melted snow. Are we lost? It feels like we're lost. I'll just follow. Should I be quiet? Don't want to disturb your tracking. I'll be quiet. Is that a track? It's... no, sorry. It's just... All right, let's find Urkale the Cleaver.
I should have been at my husband's side. Well, look upon my husband and perhaps a new...
both know you're the one who avenged the chief. Happy I could land a few good smacks. I'll tell Zara when she's back. You deserve the credit. That's up to the clan. I'm only doing it because Shatul needs a chief. Can't say I enjoy staking a claim while my friend is dying in that tent. I'm not so sure I want to be chief again. Small clan. Our stronghold let Shatul camp there in the summers, in return for choicest pick of a Chater. Chief Ogzor wanted to strengthen the bond by marrying away his daughter. Ashruka was to be my hunt wife, but that didn't happen. Ashruka refused to be traded like the choicest pick of a Chater. She chose exile rather than marry me. A month later, raiders from the Reach wiped out my whole clan. Don't really know. Shatul tries not to talk about its exiles. Chief Ogzor forbade anyone from speaking of her. I think he blamed himself for pushing her away. After her mother died, Ashruka and her father were always at odds. It was inevitable. No, I've always respected how Ashruka held her ground, and I wasn't too keen on the match. I'd known her since she was a child, so going from Uncle Lorig to husband, we call that a Valenwood marriage. But don't let a wood orc hear you say it. It was my own fault. I was more full of pride than sense back then. Shatul warned us of Reachmen they'd seen, prowling through the hills. I thought Chief Ogzor was trying to make up for Ashruka running off. Never. Chief Ogzor's mother, Shatul's wise woman, though she hates it when we call her that. It
Ready! Fire!
Got to keep moving.
will harvest your soul for the dead ones.
rug for the master. Surrender and I'll devour you quickly. Ride, minions!
You avenged my son. I will not forget what you did for Shatul today, nor will the clan. If Shatul is to survive, there must be a new chief. Lorig is one contender. Ogesh returned from Orsinium shortly after my son's injury. He declared himself a contender, but I'm not sure why. The boy never had brains or ambition. Serving in the Orsinium Guard was my son's suggestion. Shatul needs a chief who looks out for the clan before himself. We have no walls to hide behind, only our wits and our skill herding a Chater. If Ogesh has neither, I need to know. I sent him after Scamper, our laziest at Chater. Ogesh can explain the task. He's never been talkative, but see what you can learn as you aid each other. I'll want to speak with you when you return. Ogesh won't be far from Shatul.
Who are you? I don't need your help. Wait. With your help, this will go faster. Yazara asked for a snow truffle. This lazy beast can sniff it out. But it's a two-person job. I can't keep Scamper and hunt for a snow truffle. It's like a tundra truffle, but tastier. Only grows in these... no clue. A potion, maybe? You scout ahead, find a truffle. Scamper will sniff the patch. If there's a snow truffle, he'll dig it up. You grab him. Scamper is fast asleep. Give him a good... near boulders or trees. Lots of them between here and Shatul. It's why they camp here in the winter. I lived in Orsinium for years. Sometimes I forget Shatul is home. Just find this note. Keep trying, Scamper. Damn. No snow truffle.
This is a private matter.
I think he found one. Scamper earned some sleep. Let's get back to Chateau. Get that snow truffle to Yazara. And thanks. I won't forget. I think he found one.
Did you find Olgesh? Good. Give it here. Olgesh passed my test. Scamper has always required 2 people to wrangle. For Olgesh to send you back with the snow truffle tells me he learned to master his temper. He'd have tried to kill you. But you slew Urkael the Cleaver. I expect Olgesh would now be dead. Lorig and Olgesh are the only clear contenders for Chief. They must enter the Bloody Knoll and duel beneath the stern gaze of Malakath. The one who emerges shall be the new chief of Chateau. Only an orc can become chief of Chateau, or of any orc clan. It's... I can't say it any simpler than that. I have not forgotten what you did for us. On behalf of Chateau, I name you Bloodkin. You shall always have a place among us. I already sent Lorig to the Bloody Knoll. Could you inform Olgesh he is to fight? Olgesh should be at his tent. And thank you for the snow truffle, Bloodkin. Sometimes the smallest favor. It was my son's favorite food. His hearthwife. She has dozens of recipes. He loved them all. He won't be able to taste it. His mind, you see, there's nothing. The poison I shall feed the husk that remains of his body. Yes. Yes, it is. Chateau must survive. Before a new chief is chosen, the old chief must die. By the time Lorig and Olgesh reach the Bloody Knoll, the poison will finish its work. There is no shame in that. You are not an orc. You are not of Chateau. But you are bloodkin to our clan.
Over here. We need to talk. You looked different from inside Olgesh's helmet. Ushruka, exiled daughter of Chief Ogzor. Soon the new chief of Chateau. A merchant friend keeps me informed of Chateau. When she brought word of my father's injuries, I had to return and contend for chief. Chateau. As an exile, I'm not allowed to enter Chateau. But Ulgesh is no exile. I traded him a new set of armor for his old, then returned to my clan. My own grandmother couldn't tell the difference. The real Olgesh has a squeak in his voice. One day he paid Morkel's forge wife to make him sound like an ogre. He always wore the helmet everywhere he went. It still smells like sweaty breeches and onions. I cleaned it 3 times. Nothing worked. Now I head to the Bloody Knoll. There I will kill Lorig and become Chief of Shatul. For this to work, my grandmother must know my intentions. Inform her, and I swear upon my mother's memory, gladly. Tell her the truth. I don't care if she approves. She will need to prepare the clan for my success. If not...
My son, Chief Ogzor is dead. Lorig waits at the Bloody Knoll. Is Olgesh on his way? What? Ushruka was exiled from Shatul. I would never allow her to contend for that foolish girl. We're a traditional clan. Shatul will never accept an exiled woman as chief. Had she become Lorig's hunt wife as my son wanted, Shatul would have stayed for the wedding. We would have been there when the Reach attacked Lorig's clan. Her selfishness led to their destruction. A chief who lost his entire clan to raiders from the Reach? He refused to challenge my son, to give him an honorable death under Malakath's gaze, because of friendship. No matter his prowess in battle, he is soft in the heart. Take this ritual blade. It is flawed at its core, just like Lorig and Ushruka. Replace the blade of the weakest contender. Fair. I just watched my son die. None of this is fair. The flawed blade is a test. A weak contender who survives despite this setback. When the blade fails, the weakest contender will most assuredly die. If they...
You have to go. If Ulgesh sees you, he'll kill you.
Ulgesh is in Orsinium. He sold me his armor before I came to Shatul.
No. What have you done?
Shatul must survive. Don't hold back, Lorig.
Malakath favor the victor. Goodbye, little one.
You've returned. Who is the new I see. Our clan will believe Malakath favors the loyalty Lorig showed my son. They'll accept his victory.
This is not justice.
You alone emerged from the bloody knoll. Did you pray to Malakath for your victory?
I needed no prayers, only my strength.
Then go forth, my chief, and receive your clan. Shatul, I present your new chief.
Chief Ogzor was good for Shatul. Though Ushruka fell by my hand in the bloody knoll, I vow to lead by her father's example. I lost my best friend. Then I killed his daughter. The woman I was once supposed to marry. When it rains, it pours. But right now, it feels like it's pouring out in Echater's back half. You? Of course you have my support. You've done much for Shatul, and stood by me when my friend was dying. When it's time, I'll hear him out. You have my word.
find out what... Have you happened to see an elf around here? Tall, spindly, talks way too much for his own good? No, of course not. That would have been too easy. This is what I get for hiring a tuskless runt. He said he could improve efficiency in Greystone Quarry. What did we get for our trouble? First the fall. Not a word. And it smells like elf mischief to me. My husband, Chief Ramash, went down into the quarry to look for the elf and find out what happened to our workers. He came back covered in blood. And I can tell you, Ramash doesn't bleed easily. I'd appreciate any help you can provide. After what happened to the chief, the rest of the clan refuses to go anywhere near the quarry. If you can get in there, find out what happened, and make sure the quarry workers are safe. It's all because of that damn city they're building. The king needs stone for Orsinium's walls, for its keeps, for its damn towers. I don't know where quarry overseer Yadurl found the elf, but he claimed he could increase our typical elf. Too clever for his own good. All tricks and hasty maneuvers. But our clan depends on the quarry. It's our livelihood. If we can't determine what happened down there and fix it, in the longhouse, tending to his wounds and raging about the troubles that have befallen us, by Malakath's crooked tusk, chiefs and their howling, he's useless when he's like this. I'm Chief Ramash's forge wife. Tumnash is my clan, and Greystone is our quarry.
Another outsider here to perform tricks for the false king? Bah, go back to Kurog and leave a real clan chief in peace. Outsiders. Always want what they can't have. You could ask whatever you want, but everything that happened in the quarry is kind of a blur. Sure, most of the blood I came back covered in belonged to Bonalog, but that doesn't mean I didn't sustain a few injuries of my own. Look, it was dark and foggy down there. I don't know what attacked us, but it was fast and it was... I remember shadows in the fog. Another outsider. So, you're a lapdog and a messenger? I have no time for Kurog's games, outsider. As long as my quarry... You think you can accomplish what me and my strongest warriors have been unable to do? Very well, outsider.
I'd appreciate any help you can provide. After what happened to the...
Shadows. Shadows in the fog.
What are you doing down here? Don't you know that Greystone Quarry is a disaster? What happened? The High Elf, that's what happened. Things were fine for a while. Rock flowed out of the quarry at a record. It was fog, thick as stew it was. Chief Ramash and Huntwife Bulgar decided to enter the quarry and find out what happened to the elf. We entered the fog, but we weren't alone in there. There were shadows, things in the fog. We were attacked. I saw the chief run out, covered in blood. Find the Huntwife and her daughter, and kill as many of those things as you can. Like I said, it was dark, foggy. Couldn't make out anything except shapes. We just entered the cavity when find the hunt.
I thought you were one of those damn machines. You're just lucky I've got the reflexes of a snow bear, or your guts would be decorating the floor. Now, care to explain what you're doing down here? Is this another of my husband's half-hearted rescue attempts? Whatever. I guess I should be grateful. One of those metal spiders took a chunk out of my leg. Nothing too serious, but I can't fight worth a damn. So it's up to you to find my daughter. I don't, but I can hope, can I? Besides, I haven't seen her corpse, and she is her father's daughter. Then there's the elf. He knows what he's doing, and has more than a few tricks up his sleeve. He's a clever bastard, I'll give him that. He knew there was a dwarven ruin down here, and used us to uncover it. We should have been more careful. But he had significantly increased our production. And you know Orsinium, they always want more stone. Shaban, she's a brave young woman. Took an immediate interest in the High Elf and his fancy ways. The elf didn't seem to mind. In fact, I think he liked having someone strong and beautiful.
Oh, thank Trinimac. You're not one of those dwarven dwemer things. But what do you... Our quarry, sure. But the dwarves carved out this quarry centuries ago. It looks like they started down here, and he told me to stay here while he went to investigate the central structure. He used his control rod to walk right past the machines. But apparently its protection doesn't extend to anyone else. That's what I get.
Ah, what a surprise with Zark. Seems like we explored that place only yesterday. You do remember? Stros Mackay, Dwemer Ruins, that adorable animunculus clanker. Ah, so you've met them. I really do feel awful about what happened. I offered my help because I suspected that the ruins of Mizandine were down here, but I never expected such powerful... Ah, the Zark ruins. That was an adventure. Since then I've been traveling, exploring. But it's good... Yes, but I was referring to the fog. It was a most curious thing. As soon as we unearthed the door to this place, a heavy fog set in and the Dwemer spiders swarmed us. I know how to handle dwarven constructs. The orcs, sadly, do not. My control rod can only handle a few constructs at a time. The scale of this place is well beyond its capabilities. There may be an alternative. This is unexpected. Our paths cross again. Thank the Eight. It's amazing how often good research leads to remarkable discoveries. Since we parted, I have come to the conclusion that this is an automated quarry. Isn't it, though? That's what we in the business call a remarkably well-preserved Orb of illumination. Think of the device as a gigantic combination lock. Trial and error, like any other. should allow me to control the dwarven constructs. Fascinating. I never imagined the control mechanism would fit inside so small a space. It will take me some time to master this device. But with it, I'm sure I can suppress the outer defenses and return. We had a mutually beneficial arrangement. I taught them techniques for excavating the quarry more efficiently, while they removed this. Well, no. But they never would have gone along with it otherwise, and they would have found it eventually, right? The fact is, I had no idea that the Dwemer constructs. I suspected as much. I did my best to help them, but there was so much confusion. If I can take control of the defenses and give the orcs their quarry back, maybe that will make up for my negligence. Fascinating. Oh yes, it's perfectly safe to work the quarry again. And please give the orcs my... I have something I want to try first. Something that will help. If I can make a few adjustments, I want to offer the constructs to the orcs. I'm sure they'll make excellent...
As soon as our scouts sent word that people were emerging from the quarry, I hurried down to see what was happening. So, where's dwarves? That's the last thing I expected. From the stories I've heard, things involving ancient ruins and dwarves never turn out well. Then the elf survived? Perfect! That means I still get to wring his scrawny neck. Wait a moment. What's that sound? To arms, my clanmates! Let's show this mad elf what we think of his dwarven army.
Don't be alarmed. I bring a gift. These constructs can work your quarry and build the great city of Orsinium.
Damn you, elf. I should kill you where you stand.
What did I say? Please, my friend, make her see reason.
He got half my workers killed, and now he insults us as well? The elf's blood price is steep, and he's going... Greystone Quarry belongs to Clan Tumnosh. It should be worked by Clan Tumnosh, not those metal monsters. As long as one Tumnosh lives, we'll extract with orc sweat and orc muscle. We dishonor ourselves and our ancestors if we sat back and let machines do all the work for us. It figures that an elf, their worth is considerable, and we'd be able to keep our quotas as we build back up. You're right. Thank you for letting me say.
That was an admirable display of logic. I'm glad we can make the best of this unfortunate situation. The constructs will increase production in the quarry 100-fold. The Dwemer constructs only deactivate when they leave their ruins as a security measure. With extremely rare tools and highly specialized knowledge, I gave these constructs new instructions that override those constraints. Remarkable, I know. My first thought was to offer them to one of the alliances as an army. But I don't have nearly enough for that. My, you do have a good memory. I kept poor Clanker going for as long as I could.
Ah, outsider. I confess I had my doubts, but my forge wife tells me you were as good as your word. Thank... Oh, very well. You performed a vital service for my clan. The least I can do is go and listen to whatever...
Fool girl. Children. Never have them. Children. Never have them. The king insisted on a Morkel daughter for his forge wife. But then he decided to pass over my eldest. Now Ashika wants to prove him a fool for marrying her little sister. Malekith alone knows why Ashika ran off. Wounded pride sent her to Morkel descent, no doubt. Idiot! The girl will end up as Ogre Dun or a spider hatchery. Running off to Morkel descent is why Ashika's still unwed! Finding glory in old relics instead of at the king's side? He'd have chosen her if she wasn't so headstrong. Ugh. Go on, ask. Old clan legend says it's full of relics. Every few years, a new crop of idiots runs off there to get killed. You want to know what's in there? I can tell you how long it takes steel to melt. You want old stories? Go ask a poet. Ashika thinks she's steel in a world full of iron. For all the king blusters, she'd challenge him at every turn. Her little sister is content to just run a forge. Easy choice. Also, I punched his mother. Now, it was years ago. Alga said the breastplate I made her son was adequate. Question my skill with a word from a Daggerfall parlor? Pah! Didn't help that Ashika's first dagger had Alga's tooth forged into the hilt. Worth it, though.
One of those outsiders that Kurog brought to our land. Sorry, but I have problems of my own right now. As long as my forge wife is miserable, I can't deal with anything else. I wonder, does King Kurog have a solution? If you're brave enough, talk to Lasgal and do whatever she asks. If you can finally get her to stop.
Put that back!
Who are you? It doesn't matter, the Hand of Morkel is mine. Once I find it, which is harder than I thought. That's why she... What? Why? My what? Does she even listen to me? She never listens. Honor of the clan, I say. You'll find someone soon, she says. All right. She sent you here to help? Good. Help me find the long-lost home of Morkel clan. The old poems say it was buried in ice and stone-marked thrice. The old poems of Morgulden's founding mention a heroic trio who rebuffed Winter's grasp and found buried in ice and stone-marked thrice. The statues must reveal... Statues must leave. Why? Or our clan sends my little sister. Rumbling. Do you feel it? The wall shifted. Sealed away, but hidden in plain sight. Morkelden, lost among the ice. It's in some sort of... What is that, a display? It's nestled in there tight. Of course we can't just take it. The Hand of Morkel is held in something called the... I think it said Heart Forge? Also, endless breath and... We need to rekindle the forge. Endless breath has to mean bellows, and untold rage is... a furnace? Strange way to say it. Morkel clan prefers simple solutions that last. Look for switches or some kind of mechanism. We'll see what happens when you set the... You did it! Now for purest heart. The old clan word for heart also means blood. Purest blood. Morkel blood? My father is Morkel's chief. My blood must work. Just a quick slash of the knife. Look! It's opening! Like a hand. Opening. Oh. The Hand of Morkel isn't our forge hammer. It's the cage around it. And if my clan's old word for heart also means blood, then this wasn't our heart forge. It was our... My mother says we're the best smiths in Hrothgar because we put heart in the steel. Whose heart? Whose blood? Morkel clan hasn't had enemies since the days of Morkelden. Did we feed our rivals to that? You're right. The old poems aren't about honor we lost when we left Morkelden. It's honor gained for burying our greatest shame beneath a mountain of ice. And a warning to stay away from the Hand of Morkel, which... Not without blood magic. But I can't just leave it here. It's our heritage. I'll bring it back to the stronghold, but what then? What do I tell my clan? You're right. You forge a better blade by studying your past mistakes. I can't keep this from my clan. Perhaps there's a better way to use this place. Morkelden doesn't require the blood of our enemies. That's just how it was misused. Maybe the blood of frostbite spiders is enough. Blood, ichor, whatever. I heard a rumbling when you rekindled the forge. Maybe another way out. Anything to avoid those ogres. This is close to Orsinium. Useful if we ever need to return to the blood, the Heart Forge. Meet me at Morkel's stronghold?
Champion of the Crucible!
Come here. Stand by my side as I address
Don't
the
exactly.
Is that your ally, Ashaka? Quiet! Ashaka speaks on a matter concerning the clan.
Morkel clan, our search is over. Today, we are whole once more. No longer shall we live in our ancestors' shadow. There is power in our blood, and at last, we reclaim it. Behold, the hand of Morkel! And beneath the mountains, the great forge of Morkeldon is rekindled! It is a new era for Morkel. A new era for orcs.
Prepare yourselves, my clan. Soon we march to Orsinium. We shall build it anew.
The news of the Blood Forge brings strife, but I will not allow us to look away. It is not enough. Now, I name you Bloodkin to Morkel clan. Last thing I'll do before heading to Orsinium. The king needs a clan who can work its great forge. And it will keep our clan away from...
Kurog's outsider. I'm not sure what you did exactly, but you somehow restored peace to my family. And sure, why not? I'll go to this moot and listen to what Kurog has to say.
dry bread and old
And my champion returns. Still alive, and with most of your vital body parts intact. My shield wives owe me. I told them not to bet against me. But enough of that. Were you successful? Are the clan chiefs going to attend the moot? Perfect! You've done me a great service, my friend. The moot will be remembered as the turning point for Rothkar. The day when all the clans united under the rule of a strong and visionary king. A new golden age for the Orsimer. Now, why, we prepare for the moot, of course. It will be packed. Clan chiefs from the farthest reaches of Rothkar will come together to finally accept my vision for the future. Don't worry about Basrog. He hasn't been seen since the attack on the temple. He's probably gone so deep into hiding or run so far away that we'll never... Why should I be? You're concerned enough for both of us. But come on, you're worse than my shield wives. Have a drink. Have the whole damn keg if you want. And take this for services rendered. Now, all we have to do is sit back.
The Orcs, the Nords and the Bretons.
Gods, I had the hardest time finding you. Looked all over the city, even got lost once or twice. I did find an adorable sweet shop, though. They had these wonderful tiny cakes.
Right to business, huh? Not even a hi. Good to see you. Fine, fine.
Anyway, High Priestess Solgra needs our help. She wants us to... It's a rescue! Wants to give you the details personally. After all, you did save her life. I can see it now.
Oh, my savior. Let's retire to my private chambers so I can share the
Seriously, Solgra wants to keep this quiet. Said the situation was sensitive. She especially doesn't want the king to know. When I suggested asking the king for help... No, doesn't have a clue. That's what makes it so exciting. This is an honest-to-goodness secret mission. Have you seen my bow skills? I'm sure Solgra noticed and said to herself,
"That's a fine young lass. She can put a shaft through an apple balanced on the back of a...
I'll meet up with you later. Go see Solgra, but don't take too long."
Thank you for responding so quickly to my summons, especially considering everything you've been doing to support the king. She can be rather exuberant, but I suppose the term is accurate. I debated with myself before deciding to ask the two of you for assistance. But a shield wife from one of the clans sent me an urgent plea for help. It appears that the clan's chief has been taken captive by a fanatical group of... how do I put this? They're members of a religious sect devoted to Trinimac. Yes, but it's not the same. The Voshrak are Trinimac extremists who bend the sacred teachings to their own purposes. They've been gathering power and influence at an alarming rate. It will give the Orc traditionalists one more arrow to put in their quiver, and they won't use it only against us. King Korag and the Forge Mother have supported us. This will cripple their cause. Go to Faren's stronghold and meet Everlee. Stop the Voshrak and rescue the chief before it's too late. I just ask for your discretion in this matter. If the king finds out, he'll send an army, which will only result in more death and destruction. 2 things before you go. First, avoid bloodshed on your way into the stronghold. The captives won't be immediately harmed if the Voshrak feels secure. Second, I'm not sure which chief was taken. The message I received was purposefully vague. Not much. They're rather secretive, keep to themselves. They apparently wear masks whenever they gather, and I've heard rumors. They've been linked to trouble in the West. This sect is rather new, from what I've been given to understand. Well, they weren't here when I arrived. Our temple guides people who can say what these extremists have in mind. I'm not privy to their ultimate goal. I would speculate that eliminating a chief who reveres Malakath will send a distinct message about the Voshrak. I suppose it depends on what chief. As with the attack on the temple, we don't want to give the captors a reason to act in haste. The longer they remain unaware of your presence, the better chance you'll have to locate and free the chief. Besides, I don't think so. At least not immediately. They're keeping the chief alive for a reason. I think they want to make a spectacle. But the Voshrak haven't always acted in a predictable manner.